All right, so 214 is called log function, context, and data modeling. Those words should start to sound familiar because we did this with quadratics, we did these with exponential, we did this, all that stuff, and that basically means one of the things we're doing today is running a log regression, okay? So we start with, how do I know a log function from a chart? So log functions have independent or input values that increase proportionally, which also means multiplicatively, while the dependent or the output values increase at a constant rate, and that is additively. So when we look at a chart and we want to determine if it's a log function, we can say that as the input values increase proportionally or multiplicatively, you can use either of those, the output values increase at a constant rate or increase additively. So if we look at this, the input values are being multiplied by what? All right, so we're multiplying by 4 each time, which means log base 4 would be the log, okay? When we run the regression in our calculator, you'll see in just a second that actually the only log in that, you're not going to choose log base 4 or log base 3. The only log in our regression is ln. So if we use the calculator to run a regression, it will always be ln. As the school day goes on, Mrs. Chrisweiser's room gets warmer. As the number of students increase, so does the temperature. If we look at our values, what's happening to the input values? Good. The output values? Good, which means the best kind of regression for this would be a log. So we're going to use the calculator to run the log regression. So we go back to stat, right? Stat, edit, and enter in your values. Input 6, 36, 72, 144. Output values 62, 64, 66, 68. Luckily, I skipped over 67. What'd you say? All right, so now I'm going to go to stat, calc, and we're going to number 9. The LIN is a linear regression, okay? And underneath this says logistic. That is not logarithmic. We need a log, which is ln. So we're doing 9. Enter, enter, enter. Store it. Alpha, y1. Run it. So it gives it to you in terms of ln, where A, that would be your vertical shift up, right? So I would write this as y equals 58.314 plus b is 1.829 ln of x.
I also got r squared and r equals something.
That's because you had your regression wrong. It's fine. Remember when you turn on your stat diagnostics, you get extra stuff. Yeah. You with me? No. How did I lose you? Okay, B says, what's the temperature if there's 45 students? Are the students the input or the output? The input. So I'm going to do Y1 of 45. .277 degrees. It doesn't say Fahrenheit. You don't need it. If I wanted the input value for right now, it's just, or the term, it would just be degrees. All right, then C says, how many students are there when the temperature reaches 73 degrees? So now this is the output value, yes? How do I figure that out?
Going to the graph, y equals 73.
Good. The other way I could do it is say 73 equals 58.314 plus 1.829 ln x. I would subtract the 58, divide by the 1.929, and then a e to that power would also give me an answer, okay? But I'm going to go to the graph. Oh, let me go to what my normal window is.
Romeo Quintero, please report to student services. Romeo Quintero, please report to student services. Thank you.
Okay, so it's not in my screen, right? But I kind of expect that because what would be, like, if my 58 is a vertical shift, this is way up, yes? So one thing I could do is adjust just the vertical window. Like I could go to my window and I could say, okay, I know it has to be 58 at least. I could go to 100 here. And I could hit enter and I could see if that catches it. when you graph it, do those two intersect? No. And if I try alpha, trace, oops, not alpha, trace. Second, trace, intersect. I would have to arrow so that it catches the blue and then enter, enter, enter. And it will tell you there's an error because there's no sign change. Sign change means one goes above the other, right? So I'm going to go back to the graph, and you could do multiple things here. You could adjust your window by keep guessing. You could zoom out, and we're going to have to keep zooming out. So it's going to happen, so you just got to get used to it. Because if I hit again, it's going to tell me no sign change. I think we ended up zooming out 4 times. It could happen. Just keep doing it. So let's see if it crosses yet. Second, trace, intersect, enter, enter, enter. Still, I think it's still going to say, yep. So I got to go to the graph.
You don't do the intersect for what's on screen?
Correct.
That's so stupid.
Your calculator's smart, but I can't make up something it can't find. Oh, I didn't hit zoom out. Did I? Nope.
This will work. This will work. Wait on.
Yes, I paid attention.
Oh my gosh.
I missed that one part, but I wrote it down in my paper.
This is all in the background on the video, you guys. Just so you know.
That's all right.
No, I don't care. It's kind of entertaining. Careful.
Even more.
I went to window. I went 1x 2000. Wait, your 1x is more than mine.
Oh, this is what happened last time. Okay. It gets stuck spinning. Eventually it will find it. But it's so tiny. And you guys, if you haven't already noticed this, but like if you see the little thing spinning in the top right, that means your calculator is thinking. If it gets stuck in that, you can always reset your calculator by hitting the little button on the back. There's a little reset here. You got to put like your pencil in it, but it'll reset it. But eventually, I didn't want to pause the video because eventually it catches it. Students. So again, this is a people. We can't have a partial person, like maybe their foot's in the door, but we don't count it because they're not fully in the room, okay? Yeah. Yeah, it would round to be the same. What is it 370 point something? It would still round to be 3. Yeah, it would still round to be the same. Now I'm going to go example 2. The college admission rate for a university can be modeled by the function a of x equals 45.56 plus 12.72 ln of x. A of x gives the number of admissions in thousands for x months after the first day of admission. So I'm going to put this in. It says how many students will be admitted after the 4th month. So I'm going to do y equals, and I'm going to type that in. 45.56 plus 12.72 ln x. And then it's asking how many students. So is the 4th month my input or my output? The month is the input. So I'm going to do y1 of 4. And I get 63.193 or 194. And a lot of times they will actually keep the decimal on this one because you're not saying like how many students are in there, okay? But if you were going to round it, you would have, just like before, always round it because this is not just 63 people. This is 63,000 people. So this would be 63.194 thousand students. So this one you wouldn't drop the rounding off because that's not a whole person. That's in thousands, and you can have a decimal on 1,000. Yeah. Yep.
I put the 45.56 plus 12.72 ln.
Of x, you need an x.
Yeah, I put x in parentheses.
Yeah, no, you can't because then there's no variable.
I put it in parentheses.
Okay. So B says, during what month does the admission count read 73,000? So that Y2 is not 73,000, it's 73. Right? Because we want it to be in thousands. And I'm going to reset my window so it's back to normal. And I'm going to figure out where they intersect. Calculators. I knew the y had to at least go up to 73, so I literally just adjusted the y to 100. I had zoomed out, it took it to negative 40 to 40, and then I had just adjusted the y to go to 100. And I need to zoom out again. So second, trace, intersect, enter. Oh, look, it's doing the y again, so I got an arrow until I get a value for both. Enter, enter, enter. And I get 8.647. So let's talk about it, right? Think about how we name our months. So not with their name, but when we first, second, third, fourth give them names, right? From 0 to 1 would be first month. From 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So if this is in between 8 and 9, it's the 9th month.
But why does that one round up but the other one round down?
Because we round down because it's an actual person you can't have a percentage of. But during what month? And we don't say it. We don't say like a name of a month, right? We're saying we're counting it.
Is it like if it was 8.1, would it still be the 9th month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're saying first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you always round up. If we're saying month, this was January, this is February, this is then it's August, right? But it's how you name it. If we're saying first, second, third, now we bump up. We good? Yes? Right. Right. So it says write a function f that gives time in days as the output value and a certain number b for the population of bacteria as an input value. So typically when I find my double, my double life, this would be y equals a times 2 to the t over h. What is the input on these? On my double life? The t, which means my input is time. What is the output?
Y.
It would be, in this case, what? What's my,
Amount of bacteria.
amount of bacteria? What A is asking for is the reverse.
Literal.
It wants the time as the output and the B as the input.
So inverse.
So, I mean, you really just resolving it. It's the inverse, but if you do the inverse, you have to switch it back. So I'm going to make my initial function, which would be y equals my initial, which is 800, times 2 to the t over how long does it take to double? 1 day. So t over 1 is just t. But now I want to take this. I want b, which would be the y. And then t is still here. I want to solve for t. So I want to switch it. I don't need to switch the variables. I just need to solve for t. So how am I going to get to t? Divide both sides by 800. B over 800 equals 2 to the t. Then what? I could log base 2, and I get t equals log base 2 of b over 800.
If this isn't really, if it doubled that, or if it.
So now I've got a function in terms of time, okay? We could also have ln's, right? So we could have also ln both sides of the equation here, and I would have gotten the, like, let's say I just did that. If I had ln'd b over 800 equals 2 to the t, and I ln both sides, ln of b over 800 would equal ln of 2 to the t would bump forward, and I'd have to divide by ln of 2. So all of those will work, and unless, of course, it said specifically find a function with a log base 2. Then I know I have to do the first way. If it said find an ln function, I know I have to use this one, okay? But as it is, you can choose. All right, so then B says, how many days does it take for the population to reach 20,000? What's one way to do it? Yeah, I could do the calculator, but what would be what in that scenario?
That'd be the output.
Are you using the initial? Or are you using what we found? So you could choose. Let's say we use our initial. Let's say we use the exponential one we set up. If I use that, where do I put the 20,000? That's my y. Good. If I use the one I found, where do I put the 20,000? As the B. So you could choose, okay? If I'm gonna do the input on this first one. Let's do this. 20,000, let's do it without a calculator as far as we can, equals 800 times 2 to the T. I would divide both sides by 800. Cancels, cancels, and this is 8 goes into 225 times. And then I would ln, or log base 2. Log base 2 of 25 would equal T. So without a calculator, that's as far as I could go. It could also be rewritten as log ln of 25 over ln of 2. With a calculator, okay. With a calculator, I would do ln 25 divided by ln 2. Oh, that's yours. Yeah. That's okay. I was like, I don't know whose this is. T would be 4.644 days. Can you have a partial day? Yes, you can have a partial day. Okay, you can have a partial human being. Hopefully not. Okay, but you can have a partial day. If I had graphed it, I should see the same thing. If I had graphed them, if I had graphed the original exponential, then this would be my y1 would be exponential, y2 would be 20,000. If I graphed my transformed one, then I would plug that in as my y1, and I would do y1 of 20,000 to get the 4.644 days. Yep. All right, it says a weed grows continuously in a garden. The weed is initially 6 inches tall. The exponential model is h equals 6 times e to the t over 4. Write a function g that gives time in weeks as an output value and a certain number h for the height of the weed as an input value. So on my initial function, what's my input? Time. And what's my output? Height. H, which is height. Now it's asking for? Switch. You want to solve for t. You want t to be the output. So I'm going to take h equals 6 times e to the t over 4. Divide both sides by 6. H over 6 equals e to the t over 4. Then I would ln both sides of the equation. Ln of h over 6 equals, ln of e cancels, t over 4. Last step, multiply by 4 on both sides. What else could I do with the 4 on the front? You can also have moved it to the exponent. So if it said, like if this is multiple choice and you didn't see that, but you saw ln of h over 6 to the 4th, that would be the same thing. They're both correct. Yep. All right, and then B says find the number of weeks it takes for the weed to reach a height of 20 inches. So 2 choices. On the first one, how would I find it? Like on my initial, what would I do?
Just plug in
H, I would set it equal to 20, right? So I could say 20 equals 6 times e to the t over 4. And on what I just found, I would plug it in. ln of 20 over 6 to the 4th. And either case, you could use your calculator to find where the left side equals the right, whatever it is. So 4 ln 20 divided by 6. 4.8159, so 1/6, or ln 20 divided by 6 raised to the 4th.
2 point. Yeah. Sorry,
So if I did it this way, divide by 6, 20 over 6 equals e to the t over 4. You'd still ln both sides. That's a 6, ln. And then you'd multiply by 4. So same answer.
Well, we did it to the power of 4, and I did not get.
Let's try it in. You type it in the calculator with this guy. ln, you got a double parentheses. 20 over 6 to the 4th. Otherwise, if the 4 is on the outside, it finds the ln of this, and then it cubes, and then it raises the 4th power. So this has to be on the inside. All right. I want you to go to Canvas. And I want you to find the assignment that says giving thanks. This assignment is completely optional. Completely optional. Okay? But I'm going to, I would hope, a little part of you wants to be a good human being and do some of it. And also, I would say it's optional with like an asterisk at the end. So like if you're sitting at an 89.4 on December 11th and you come in and you're like, is there anything you can do to make me exempt? First question I'm going to ask you is, did you do this optional assignment? And if the answer is no, there's the door. Okay? So, and it does say, it's a homework pass. I'm going to change it so that you could get 5 test points. Now you're listening, huh? 5 test points. All right. Now you're gonna listen. Thanks. Oh, thanks. All right. So it's got 2 parts because I have to include math. I used to do this assignment just to, hey, go be a good person, and then I got in trouble because it didn't include math, and I have to make you do math. So I found a way to make you do math. So here's your challenge, and it is to do at least 3 of these things. If you are a fantastic human being and you want to do all 8 of them, yay. But you need to do at least 3 of these things. The first is tell your parents how much, and I would say do the things that you do the least normally. So if you tell your mom every day as you leave the house, Mom, I love you, thank you, whatever, then don't do number 1. Maybe do it with Dad, okay? Or find something that you don't typically do. Tell your parents how much you love and appreciate them. Call a relative or a friend or a grandparent that you haven't talked to in a while on FaceTime or on the phone. Don't text, like actually have a conversation. Okay? This might be you sitting next to your grandma at Thanksgiving dinner. Whatever it is. Hang on. Hold. The third thing is make a list of goals for yourself. 3 short-term, 3 long-term. 4, do something nice for a stranger. And I don't mean hold a door open. If you're not already doing that, shame. Okay? 5, send an email to your favorite teacher, past or present, telling how much you appreciate them. Emailing me does not add points to your total.
Can we tell them in person so it's more meaningful?
Sure.
Does that get extra points?
No. All right, 6, do volunteer work. So a lot of families will like go to a soup kitchen or some sort of a volunteer in the next week. Fantastic. But if not, maybe you want to find something to do like that. Bring a friend, bring a family member. 7, say a sincere prayer of thanks to God for all your blessings. If you never pray and you want to use this as an excuse to pray, do it. If you pray every single night, do not do number 7 as credit. Number 8, write a letter of gratitude to someone who's impacted your life and read the letter to the person. So this is like what happened on the video if you were paying attention at the beginning of class. And I will say I did this with my mom, and I think my mom and I have a great relationship, and I thought she like knew how much I appreciated her, and she literally like broke down and sobbed in front of my face, and it was like one of the most rewarding things I've done my entire life. So if you're thinking about doing something, that's a really good one. Huh? Okay.
That we did all these. She's getting to it.
Let her explain, bro.
Thank you. I'm going to record you guys and just play those as audio buttons. Let her explain. Yep. All right. So the thing that you opened, because you're smart and you listened to me, so you already did this.
Yes.
The PDF is how you're going to get your credit for this assignment. So the first page is where you're going to include what you did. You're going to share with me. I'm hoping you're not going to lie about being a good person, because it kind of doesn't make much sense. But obviously I'm going to go off of what you're going to tell me. I feel like Jesus will know if you lie about being a good person, okay? You're going to share with me. So if you did number 1, I did number 1, or I did whatever number 1 is, and this was my experience. I've actually, this is probably one of my favorite things to grade of the year because the stories are fantastic, okay? You're going to do that in this box. Then on the second page, we're going to bring in the math, which is how again, or I can scrap the whole thing, okay? I can't do it without this. So at the beginning, let's do this together. At the beginning on the top, it says, draw a diagram to show the effects of 5 rounds. I don't want you to draw the whole thing right now, but I want to talk about what this would look like. So this is the pay it forward concept. If I, as a human being, start and I go out and I do 3 things to affect 3 people, right? And then those people pay it forward. Each of those little dots then goes to 3 more dots. Except that it's good. Okay? So you're going to fill this. I'm not going to do this all with you now. You're going to fill this, and if you're an artistic human being and you want to do it prettier than this, fantastic. I've seen some really cute stuff, like little emojis and little turkeys and little pumpkins and little, like, super cute. Okay? You're doing 5 rounds. Round 1 is the 3. You're not round 1. The 3 people you affect is round 1. Okay? Because if it was raised to the first power, it would be 3. So then each of those affects 3, and then each of those affects 3. We're multiplying by 3 every time, yes? Well, what kind of function are we building?
Exponential.
It's exponential, and our base would be 3. So round 1 would be 3. Round 2 would be 9. Round 3 would be
27.
round 4 would be
81.
round 5
I think 260.
243. It's okay, it's a hard number. All right. And then we're going to graph. You only need 3 points, but you're going to graph, and then you're going to answer the question, how many people would it impact if you went 10 rounds? Okay? If you don't have to answer it now. If you do this and you do your side things, I'll give you the 5 points. It's just going to go in an empty column, so it's going to be out of 0. So you don't have to be like, I want it on the first test. I want it on the second test. It's just 5 points. Okay? If you don't do the math part, I can't give you credit for the other part. So you got to do both.